Hi everyone, I'm recording this tutorial to let you have a review of a quick review of the overall subtopics that we have done in ratio. What does actually ratio mean? How do we represent it? Simplifying ratio, equivalent ratios, word problem, and finding the missing number on both sides of two equivalent ratios, so far and so forth. So let's begin. Ratio is a comparison between two or more quantities, as you all know. It is just like fractions, and these are different ways how we represent ratios. We use a colon to compare two quantities. This ratio can also be expressed as a fraction, or we read it as 3 to 4 as in words, or it can also be read as 3 per 4. If you recall this concept of simplifying fractions that you have been practicing from the previous grades as well, this is just like simplifying ratios. All right. For example, if you take the fraction 22 over 50, what you do is that you have to think of the biggest factor that divides both of them. They both are even, so I'm dividing both of them by 2 and I get 11 by 25, and this is the simplest form. On the other hand, if you look at it in the form of a ratio, 22 ratio 50, 22 to 50, you do the same thing, almost the exact same thing. You divide both sides by the same number and you get the simplest ratio. Equivalent fractions is also quite similar to equivalent ratios. There's no need to get confused. It's quite an easy concept. Basically, how do you get equivalent fractions? Either you multiply both sides by any number, up and down by any number. The numerator and denominator has to be divided by the same number. Whichever number that you're picking, you are going to multiply it to the numerator and to the denominator. And the result or the resulting fraction that you are getting is going to be the equivalent fraction of 10 by 15, right? Or you divide up and down both the numbers in the numerator and denominator by a same number. The resulting fraction is going to be an equivalent fraction as well. All right? Same is the case with ratios. Either you multiply both sides by any number that you want, but the condition is that whatever number you're multiplying here, it has to be multiplied here. The resulting ratio that you will get is an equivalent ratio. All right? The same is this, that if you are dividing both sides by the same number, all right, you will get an equivalent ratio. So it's 20 ratio 30 equivalent, and the same is the case over here, right? There's certain ratio that you will be given. Now these two numbers cannot be divided by any common number. So in that case, you would have to, only option that you are left with, that you will multiply both sides by any number of your choice. It can be 10, it can be 6, it can be 2, any number. But it has to be multiplied on both sides, and the resulting ratio that you will get would be an equivalent ratio. Now coming to ratios word problem, something that haunts most of the children, but I think we have tried making it as easy as possible. So there are two kinds of word problems in ratios that we have done so far. So basically the first scenario, when a ratio of two quantities and a total of one quantity is given, this is what you have to keep in mind. In that case, we use the arrow method. And how do we do that? Let's discuss. At a pet show, we have 40 puppies, and the ratio of kittens to puppies present at the pet show is 7 ratio 8. Now 7 ratio 8 is not the number. They're telling you the groups that these puppies and kittens are present. Now that they have given you the total of one quantity, that means if you write the ratio, if you state the ratio of kittens to puppies, that's 7 ratio 8, right? Then you have been given, the second thing that you have been given the statement is the total of puppies. So you put this number under the same column of puppies in the ratio. So it comes right underneath. Then you look for that mystery number. What am I doing to this number to get this? We are multiplying. Obviously, this number is increasing. What number am I multiplying? That mystery number will be found by dividing 40 by 8. It gives me 5. So that's how I come to know that I'm multiplying by 5. I will multiply the same mystery number on this side as well. 7 5s are 35. So this gives me the total number of kittens present at the pet show. How many are these? 35. Coming to the second scenario, when a ratio of two quantities and a total of both is given. So in this case, the ratio of kittens and puppies is given and the total of both is given. When this is the scenario, the total of both the quantities given, you don't know what is the number of kittens and number of puppies. What you do is that you divide bar models. 7 and 8 are the groups that we are dividing these pets into. So there are 7 groups, equal groups of kittens and 8 equal groups of puppies. And all of these kittens and puppies together are 75 pets altogether. That means I am dividing these 75 pets into how many groups? 15 groups overall. So we divide total 75 pets into 15 equal groups or units. Value of 1 unit or 1 group is 75 divided by 15 is 5. That means each of this unit is equal to 5 pets. Alright, so each unit is equal to 5 pets. So kittens is equal to how many groups? 7 units or 7 groups. So each unit or each box or each group is consisting of 5 pets. So how many times 5 for kittens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 5 is 35. How many times 5 for puppies? 8 times 5 for puppies, and that's how we get the total number of kittens and total number of puppies. Coming to missing numbers, some kids are finding this a little difficult, but it's very easy. The first thing is that you have to decide that this is the first, this is the second place. This is the first, this is the second place. So you do the pairing. That means this number will become this, and this number will become this. The second thing that you have to see is you have to look for the complete pair. This pair is not complete, whereas this one is. The next thing that you have to see is that is this number increasing? Yes, it is. So we are definitely multiplying with something. Again, what is the missing number? You pick the big number, divide it by 5, and you get that mystery number. So you're multiplying by 5. If you're multiplying by 5 on this side, the same has to be done to this one. 7 times 5, this gives you 35. That's how you will get that missing number. 25 ratio 10. Again, now you see, we will again 1, 2, 1, 2. These two are pairs, right? And these two are pairs. The second thing I have to see is that what is happening? Are we multiplying or are we dividing? This has become this. We don't have this paired as complete pair. So we'll look at this to know our trend. So this is basically becoming smaller. So then that means we are dividing. When your number is becoming smaller, that means we are dividing. What number am I dividing it by? 10 divided by 2. What's the missing number or the mystery number? 5. So we're dividing 10 by 5 to get 2. That means that I will also divide 25 by 5 to get this. So my equivalent ratio would be 5 ratio 2. Coming to this again, I will make pairs. I hope that now you know how you have to make pairs. Yes? This is first, second, third. First, second, third. I will make the pairs 1, 2, and 3, right? Now, again, next step, look for the complete pair. This is also complete, and this is also complete. Is it increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. So we are dividing. What's the mystery number again? 35 divided by 5 gives you 7. So you're dividing 35 by 7, you get this. That means you are also going to divide 14 by 7, and that's how you are getting 2. So you are dividing this number by 7 to get 4. All right, this is another thing that you need to know, that if you are dividing this unknown number by 7 and you're getting 4, if you have to do the reverse finding, you'll do the opposite of whatever operation that you're applying here. If you are dividing this by 7 to get this, when you take the backward swing, you multiply by 7. You get my point? Whatever the unknown number is, you're dividing it by 7 because we are dividing all of them by 7 to get the numbers on the right hand side. So you are dividing this number to get 4. To have the backward swing and get back to this number, you will do the opposite of this operation, 4 times 7, and this will give you 28. Now let's take the forward swing. 28 divided by 7, 4. 4 times 7, 28. Alright? इसमें आपने थोड़े आगे पीछे झूले लेने हैं अगर आप आगे जा रहे हैं and if you're dividing, so when you have to go backwards, take the forward swing, you do the opposite of this. Let's do this as well. Again, I would do the pairing. Which is a complete pair? The first one. I know the mystery number. 40 divided by 5, it is 8. So I'm multiplying this with 8 to get this. So that means I will also multiply the second number with 8 to get this. Now, the third number was also multiplied by 8 to get this answer, right? Now I have to take the backward swing to get this. What do we do? What did I tell you? That you have to do the opposite of this operation. You divide 24 by 8. When you take the forward swing, you multiply and to get this 24. And when you divide 24 by 8, you get 3. Now let's take the forward swing. 3 times 8, 24. 24 divided by 8, 3. All right? The next topic is where you have to have both the quantities in a ratio to have the same unit. For example, when I want to simplify this ratio, the first requirement is that I make or convert both the quantities into centimeters. So I multiply this with 100. So this is 700 centimeters and this is also 200 centimeters. Now I will do the simplification. Divide both sides by 100, and when we divide any number by 100, we remove 2 zeros. So our ratio is 7:2. Over here, this is in minutes, this is in hours. We will multiply this with 60 to convert this into minutes as well. Now I'll divide both sides by 15. You can do with 5 and then you can do with 3. So you can do it in 2 steps. I know the biggest factor 15. I'll divide 75 by 15. I get 5 and I divide 125, 15. I get 8. And this is the simplest form since they don't have any other number that divides them. This is the simplest ratio and this is the simplest ratio. I think I've covered most of the topics that kids were having a little bit of confusion about. I wish you all the best. I hope this video is going to be useful for you, for anyone who wants to take any sort of help. All the best, everyone. Try to do your best and always make sure that your main focus is learning, not grades. Allah Hafiz.